Now, when it comes to being able to deadlift without back pain, we found that three things need to be true. The first thing is that we need to be able to maintain core tension and tension throughout so that our back doesn't change positions. The second thing is we need to be able to hinge and use our hips properly so that our back doesn't take over. And lastly, we need to make sure that the weight stays within our center of gravity or close to the body so that it doesn't get too far out in front so that our back doesn't take the brunt of the work. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is being able to find a good brace at the bottom position. So when I go down to the barbell, I want to think about being able to take a big breath in and expand the belly. And so what I'm really thinking about is being able to breathe in and create space and pressure here and then maintain that pressure. If I had a weight belt on, I'm thinking about being able to breathe in and push into that weight belt, right? So it's an outward pressure to make sure that we maintain tension in the core. Big breath in and then create that pressure within the abdomen. Now, once we create pressure, we want to maintain it throughout the lift to make sure our back doesn't change position. But how we go to stand up and lift the weight matters too. So I want to think about being able to use my hips effectively. Now what that means is I want to make sure that my hips aren't staying low and I'm lifting my chest first, because that's going to change the position of my back and put the tension there. I want to make sure that the first movement is me kind of thinking about pushing the floor away through the heels. So I'm not lifting my chest, I'm not rounding my back or extending my spine. I'm thinking about pushing my heels through the floor and driving my hips forward. And that's a proper hip hinge. So when I go to lift, I take a breath in, maintain pressure, and then think about pushing the floor away and driving the hips through to reach the top position. Now, the last thing that we talked about is being able to keep the weight close to the body. So what this looks like is instead of having the weight get out in front, bringing it out and then in and then back down, I want to make sure that I'm sitting back slightly, being able to create tension by thinking about kind of breaking that bar in half, right? Tensioning the lats, and that way the bar stays close to my body, because if it gets out in front, the lever moves up into my low back and my back has to work harder. So in the bottom position, we can create pre-tension. So at the bottom, I can get a big breath in. I can create tension by trying to rip that bar apart, sitting my weight back, breath in, and then keeping the bar close to the body instead of letting it get out in front and away from me. And that way I can keep all the work in my hips and allow my core to do its job without my back taking over.